Ancient traditions across India spent centuries observing what breath does to the mind and body. Modern science spent decades measuring the same thing in randomized controlled trials. They arrived at the same conclusions, through entirely different methods, separated by over 1,000 years. This video introduces 4 techniques that sit at that intersection. Simple enough to start today, grounded deeply enough to hold up under scrutiny. Each one takes 2 to 5 minutes. None require equipment, a quiet room, or any prior experience. This is the starting point, before going further. Coherence breathing for end-of-day recovery and reducing burnout over time. 5 seconds in, 5 seconds out. Practice daily, ideally at the same time. The transition out of the workday is the highest leverage moment. The research on this one is not about a single session. It is about what changes over 4 weeks of 5 minutes a day. Sustained HRV improvement, significant reductions in burnout markers, confirmed in a JAMA Network open study of 129 physicians across 3 countries. The ancient text said the same thing in fewer words. When breath is steady, the mind is steady. Regularity is the practice. Watch the full coherence breathing video to learn the technique, the mechanism, and what the Hatha Yoga Pradipika describes as its purpose. The physiological sigh for acute stress, midday pressure, and before anything high stakes. A double inhale through the nose, 2 inhales, one after the other, followed by a long, complete exhale through the mouth. This is the fastest acting technique of any studied so far. The 2023 Stanford trial found it outperformed every other technique, including mindfulness meditation, for immediate mood improvement and physiological arousal reduction. 2 minutes is the minimum effective dose. Use it after a difficult call, before a presentation, whenever the gap between how you feel and how you need to feel is too wide. Watch the full Physiological Sigh video for the guided practice and the full research. Ujjayi for building health markers quietly in the background of ordinary life. A gentle constriction at the back of the throat, the same sensation as fogging a mirror, maintained while breathing slowly through the nose. It produces a soft sound. It can be practiced anywhere, during a morning walk, a commute, a stretch between meetings. The research shows sustained reductions in blood pressure and improvements in HRV over weeks of regular practice. The Hatha Yoga Pradipika notes something specific about Ujjayi that no other classical pranayama technique shares. It can be practiced in any position, sitting, walking, or moving. That is the instruction the text gives. It does not require stopping anything. Watch the full Ujjayi video to learn how to find the throat constriction, practice the technique correctly, and understand the physiological mechanism. Box breathing for focus, concentration, and regulated readiness before decisions. Inhale for 4 seconds. Hold for 4 seconds. Exhale for 4 seconds. Hold for 4 seconds. One of the most widely studied breathing structures in the literature. Used before high-stakes decisions, complex problem-solving, and difficult conversations. It does not produce full calm. It produces equanimity. Concentrated, directed attention. The Hatha Yoga Pradipika called this samavriti, equal movement breathing, and described its outcome as samatvam, balance, not sedation, balance. Watch the full box breathing video for the guided practice and what the ancient text specifies about extending the count as the technique becomes comfortable. These 4 techniques feel different from each other, but they share a single underlying logic, an understanding that logic makes all of them more useful. The exhale is the primary mechanism. During the exhale, the diaphragm rises, the heart has less room, and the vagus nerve activates, slowing the heart and shifting the nervous system toward calm. During the inhale, the reverse happens. More exhale relative to inhale means more time in parasympathetic dominance, less arousal, more regulation. Every one of the 4 techniques works this way. The physiological sigh maximizes the exhale with a double inhale before it. Coherence breathing gives exhale and inhale equal time and slows the whole cycle. Ujjayi adds resistance to the exhale, deepening the vagal signal. Box breathing gives the exhale a hold after it, extending the parasympathetic window before the next inhale begins. This is not 4 separate ideas. It is one idea, expressed 4 different ways, and over time, the holds. The breath hold after the exhale extends the calm produced by the exhale. It prolongs the parasympathetic window before the inhale interrupts it. This is why box breathing adds holds at all. It is also why, across the Hatha Yoga Pradipika and the Gheranda Samhita, kumbhaka, retention, is described as the deepest element of the practice. The exhale opens the door. The hold steps through it. For beginners, there is no need to focus on holds at all. The extended exhale is sufficient and well evidenced. But as these techniques become comfortable, as the breath becomes slower and the nervous system more familiar with the practice, the hold after the exhale becomes the natural next refinement, not forced, not rushed, gradually. These fit into what is already there, not added on top of it. Coherence breathing is well suited to a morning or evening commute, any consistent recurring window where regularity is possible. Same time, same context. That is what the research supports and what the ancient texts emphasized above everything else. The physiological sigh is the one to reach for whenever stress or anxiety is sensed as a response. Before reaching for the phone or the next task, try 2 minutes of the sigh. Notice the breath before, notice it after. That observation itself is the practice. Try this daily or multiple times a day if you have been feeling stressed or anxious. Observe the change in your mood as you go. Ujjayi belongs on walks and in any quiet moment during the day. It does not require stopping anything. Add this to your walks, your stretches, or just before any meditation. Box breathing can be tried 2 minutes before any critical meeting or anything that requires higher focus. Not reactive, preparatory. Start with 1. Add another when it feels natural. Be the judge of what works and when. For those who have made these 4 techniques genuinely familiar, there is a deeper path. Sudarshan Kriya, offered through the Art of Living Foundation, is a structured rhythmic practice with a significant research base, best learned with a trained teacher. Ashtakumbhaka Pranayama, the 8 classical breath retentions of the Hatha Yoga Pradipika, carries real physiological depth and real physiological risk without guidance. Buddhist and classical Indian meditation traditions teach breath as the object of sustained attention in communities where the teacher relationship is considered as important as the instruction. The starting point for all of these is the same: a nervous system already more familiar with calm, a mind that already knows what steadiness feels like. Patanjali described it in Sutra 253. Through pranayama, the mind acquires the fitness for concentration. The breath practice is not the destination, it is the preparation. Subscribe for the channel and watch all videos. Each one is grounded in both the original texts and the peer-reviewed research. No shortcuts on either.